Welcome to the All About Arduino on Simulink channel. In this video, we will see how to simulate the traffic light pattern at the 4-lane junction using Arduino LEDs, and for this the logic is written using Stateflow and MATLAB. So let's get this started. Now we will see how normal traffic flows. As you see here, this is the straight through flow traffic. There won't be any cross movement here. The traffic will flow from left to right on the upward, and in the down you can see the traffic flows from right to left. And as you can observe, all the traffic lights are turned off except the green ones. So remember one point here. These two green lights are paired together. So both can be turned on and turned off using single Arduino digital output pin. Now we will see how we can simulate the next pattern, that is the straight through traffic will be completed in next couple of seconds. So this is a kind of warning to the traffic to stop the movement. So whoever at the junction, they can complete their thing. So here we will turn off green light and we will turn on the yellow light. As you see here, both the yellow LEDs will work together. So as usual, the way we have controlling the green LEDs using single digital output pin, in this case also we can use single digital output pin of the Arduino to control two LEDs together. Now we will see how we can simulate the behavior of cross-through flow traffic. Here we will turn on the red LEDs to indicate there won't be any movement from left to right and from right to left. But here there will be a flow from left to downwards and from right to upwards. So in this case, we want to show this behavior using the yellow LEDs. And the one more important point to consider in our logic is, as the traffic is flowing from left to right and from right to left, there should not be any traffic movement from upward direction to downward and from downward to upward direction. So that we are not showing here, but we will use the red LEDs and we will light two red LEDs using single digital output pin of Arduino, so that there won't be any traffic movement from top to bottom and bottom to up. So this is the cross through traffic. Now we will head back to our Simulink model. This is our Simulink model. Here we will see how we can create the software for our analysis. So let's get this started. Now we can type chart. So automatically Simulink reads our type and it pops up these chart options. So here you can see state flow. Select the state flow chart. Give it some time. Automatically the chart block from the Simulink library browser is fetched and added here. Now we need to write our states in this chart. Now let's create initial condition, call it init. In this we want to test if our lights are working fine at start. Let's say during the start of the day, the municipal commission may want to test all the lights to see if they are working or not. Otherwise, the traffic officer may want to check it. For that, what we can do, let's say I am calling red 1 for the one LED and for red 2 to control other two LEDs. I'm initializing everything to 0 and we will change these values later, but for time being I'm declaring all the LED names here so that we can update if required later. So we have total 4 LEDs in red color, 4 LEDs in green color, 4 LEDs in yellow color, 4 LEDs in blue color. But you may wonder why still I am using only blue 1, blue 2, but not blue 3 and blue 4. That is because we are trying to control two opposite LEDs of the same color using single digital Arduino pin. So total we have 16 LEDs, but we are sufficient to use only 8 LEDs. Now we have defined everything to 0, but how we can ensure our LEDs are working fine in our case, but in real scenario, the traffic lights, how we can model that? You can create a self transition from the init block to the same and define some conditions. So we want to flash it probably 7 times or 5 times. So that is up to you. How much time you want to flash that up. So let's say create a condition so that we want to flash it for probably 5 times. So I am assigning the value of 5 here for the variable, and I am declaring the value of that variable to 0 in the entry condition of the init state. Now I need to stop to create the blinking behavior. I need to put a some stop guard here, otherwise it will be just at the off state, though the condition will continuously increment. For that we can use the normal and condition, and we will use the logic called temporal. Here we can say after every 0.5 seconds or 1 second, whatever time we want, we will check it. So once the state is here, once it executes all the logic, it will come out of the block and it will wait for 0.5 seconds and again enters to the state, but that will continue until n is less than 5. So here I am incrementing n by 1. Now you may wonder how this works out. For that we can use the scope to see if it is working fine or not now itself, but our intention is to toggle the state. So let's put an underscore 1 that indicates we want to change the state and assign it to the signal. So I am using the not condition because I will use the Boolean data type for all these signals. So this will be allow 1, this will be allow 2, this will be blue 1, this will be blue 2. Now let's save it, and here go to the simulation and click on the update diagram. So it's gonna take some time and it automatically pops up all the variables whatever we have. But here you can see the order is a little bit different, that we can fix later. It says scope is local, but I want to have everything as output because I will assign all these signals to the Arduino digital output pins. So I want to have it out of the Simulink block, otherwise the state flow. So set everything to output and press OK. Now it will be saved. Now we need to go to the, here you can see Model Explorer. Click on the small icon. Here you can see Model Workspace. Click on it. Simulink opens one more window, and on the left pane you can see Model Workspace, Configuration, Embedded Coder, Simulink Design Verifier, and Chart. Expand the chart and go to the initial condition. This is what we have coded in the init thing. And the chart, if you click, here you can see all the variables whatever we have used in our Simulink, and here the port is there, but you can change the port if you want using the button. So red one I want to have 1, automatically it changes. Red 2 I defined second, so make it 2, and next will be green 1. So this I want to have it as a 3 and green 2 automatically turn to 4, and the yellow 1 I want to have it as a 5, fifth pin, and the yellow 2 will be sixth one, and the next one is our blue. I want to have it as 7th. Now n is turned to 0. Now the initial value for all these signals, we can keep initial value as, let's say, move it to little bit left. Here you can output the values and everything. Here data type, you can select the boolean, and for each thing you have to select the data type as a boolean. So when click apply, so it applies the data type for each and everything. Otherwise you can click apply here, so it won't pop up that message for us. Let's do it for all the signals except the n. Now we have assigned the value for it. But the initial conditions, we need to have some initial value. So for each thing, I want to assign it false. So that at the start, all our LEDs will be turned off, but after 0.5 seconds, our LEDs will be turned on. Here the initial value will be 0. Now you can just close this, but you need to save it. Now perform the update diagram. Yeah, it seems we don't have any errors. Now you can see all the variables, whatever we have assigned, came out. So as you can see, red 1, red 2, green 1, green 2, yellow 1, yellow 2, blue 1, blue 2, and the final one is n. Now we don't want 10 to be output. For that, go to the model workspace again, click on the chart. Here n, the scope is output. Here pick it as a local and click on apply. Save it. Save this one. Now automatically the n is removed from the block. Now we need to see if our logic works fine. So click on the scope. The scope will come out, and connect with signal to the scope. Now let's minimize it, so it will be easy for us to just drag and connect. This will be 7th input to the scope block, and this will be 8th one. I'm not cleaning this up because we can do that later. Now we'll see for 5 seconds how this looks. Save it and run the model. Now our simulation is done. We'll see how this works. Okay, as you can see here, we are seeing only one line. So because everything works in the same way, all things are overlapped. For that, go to and select the 8 grids. So automatically Simulink pulls up each signal out and assigns to it. So as you can see here, the initial, everything is on. Okay, because the initial value in our case is 0, but during init we are toggling it. So automatically it turned on. After that it turned off. Again turned on, turned off. But at the end everything is turned on. But that is not what we are expecting. So we need to turn off the signals at the end. So for that one, you can create one more transition. Let's say put one more block here. Otherwise, we can simply do one more trick. Anyway, we know that is the turning off, increase it by one more, let's say sixth, and delete this. We will simulate, we'll see how this works. Now simulate it. Yep, simulation is done. Open it. As you can see, everything is on, off, on, off, on, again it off. That is pretty well. Now open the state. Now we are done with this. Now we need to have one more state. What we want to do here, this is where we want to simulate the, close this diagnostic viewer. We are done with that. We'll go to the straight through flow traffic here. As you see here, we want to light the LEDs in horizontal direction, but in the vertical direction I am not depicting here, but we need to stop the traffic from bottom to up and up to bottom. So there I am lighting two red LEDs. So let's go back to our model. Let's name it straight through green 1. The reason is why I named it green, because in next condition we want to do the same, but we need to turn on the yellow LEDs. That's the reason I named it green. When we are in this state, we want to turn on only the LED, so it will be true. We want to turn on the opposite red light, red LED, so that also will be true. So I am using that red is true. While exiting from this condition, from this state, my green LED will be turned off, but the red LED will be turned on in the opposite direction. We don't want to change that condition. Now you can reduce it a little bit. So this one we want to name it as yellow. The entry condition for this is we want to turn on the yellow one. The exit condition for it will be the whatever yellow we lighted will be turned off. So we need to define the transition condition from here to here. So after how many time we want to transition from the initial condition to the straight through green one. For that we can simply use whenever n less than 6, the it will be in the initial condition itself, but whenever n greater than or equal to 6, we will transition from initial state to the straight through green. So here we don't have to put any the temporal logic, so it will be just single variable, that is n greater than or equal to 6. Whenever n less than 6, we will be in init condition. Once that is done, whenever n greater than or equal to 6, we will transition from init to straight through green. Now from straight through green to straight through yellow, we need to define the temporal logic. Here I want to do that after probably, let's say, 3 seconds. I want to transition from green to yellow. Move it a little bit closer and I will make it till slow. Now save it. And in this case, once the yellow is done, I want to turn off the red LED on the opposite flow. That means from bottom to top and top to bottom. So that's why, because I want to now simulate the straight through green for the other one. That one will be straight through green too. If you see, the signal name automatically change it to at the top. Now we will turn on green too, but in this case we will turn on the red one. But while exiting from this state, we will turn off the green too. But we still keep on the red 1. So here the condition will be after 1 second of the yellow state, I want to transition from yellow to the straight through green in the other thing. So now this is done. Let's select everything and move it a little bit left. Now bring one more state here. We'll call it, I am copying entire logic because the logic will be same at the opposite okay, good here. Okay, now this will be yellow 2 and this will be yellow 2, but this one will be red 1. I want to make it false. Now here it will be after 2 seconds I want to transition from green to yellow. Now let's move this condition to the bottom one, so I can move this a little bit here. Now drag one more state, and in this we want to show the cross through flow 1. This one, make it a large so that name will be inside of the block. Let me zoom it. So the entry condition for this is I want to turn on the, let's go and visit our block here. As you can see here, I want to turn on red LEDs, not only in the same direction but in the opposite direction as well. So I need to turn on 4 red LEDs and 2 blue LEDs. For that, go back to the model and say red 1 will be false. No, I want to turn it on, so make it true. Red 2 will be true and the blue one will be true. While exiting from this, I will just turn off the blue, but I still want to on the red LEDs, because in even the other cross through flow 2 state as well, I want to turn on all the red LEDs. Here I will change from yellow to cross through after 1 second. So it will be 1 second. Here you need to change it to 3 seconds because we want to have it to 3 seconds for green to yellow transition. We need to be fair because here we are using 3, here we need to have 3. Now drag one. Let's go to and pick up one more state here. Copy all the logic here. Probably extend it to match the heights. Now automatically it change it to 2, but I don't have to double set it. So here I will just use blue 2 will be true, but these two things I want to turn off them because I am completing the cross through traffic here. So this cross through traffic, how we want to maintain for 2 seconds. So similarly, once this another cross through 2 is done, we'll transition to the as usual green state. So here I am putting again 2 seconds. So this is how the whole logic completes for our traffic signal. So go back one level up, save it, go back one level up, and we will see how our logic works. Here we already mentioned 5 seconds, but let's go and count how many seconds we need. So this will be 3, 1 3 and 2 2. So it will be around 12 seconds and this will be around 3 seconds. So I need to have around minimum of 17 seconds to see the complete flow. Now click on this little green play icon and the simulation is done. Here as you can see, you can clearly predict the initial we have all the square wave that indicates our LEDs are toggling. After that, we are seeing couple of signals are turned on immediately, but we don't know what are those. So for that, close that one. I am zooming it up a little bit. Let's name every signal. This will be red 1, this will be red 2, this will be green 1, this will be green 2, this will be yellow 1, this will be yellow 2, this one will be blue 1, this one will be blue 2. Save it, run the model again. Once the execution is done, go and double click the scope. Now as you can see neatly, the signal names are red 1, red 2, green 1, green 2, yellow 1, yellow 2, blue 1, blue 2. Now as you can see here, whenever we turn on the green, automatically the red 2 is also turned on, because when the traffic is moving from left to right and from right to left, we want to stop the traffic from bottom to up and up to down. So red 2 is turned on and green 1 is turned on. So whenever we turn on the green 2, our red 1 need to turn on. So here as you see, our red 1 is turned on. But after green 1 turned off immediately, we need to see our yellow 1 is getting turned on or not. As you see here, our yellow 1 is starting around 7 seconds, but that is exactly the time when our green 1 is turned off. So we can ensure our logic is working fine. And at the end, we want to have blue things are turned on. So as you see here, blue signals are turned on. Now here we need to make it blue too, because I see some glitch in the wave. Because let's see, here you can see the blue 2, it is turned on more than 2 seconds. That's where I realized something wrong for the blue 2. So I changed it. Now click on the little green play button and we'll see if that works well. Yeah, as you can see, exactly the blue 2 is turned on only for 2 seconds, similar to blue 1. So this is how we can ensure our logic is working fine even before deploying our software to the actual hardware. That's how we can save our resources. Now we need to prepare this model for the deployment to the Arduino. That one we need to do now. Let's delete this block. Now we need to use the digital output blocks of the Arduino. So this is the one we have. Let's take the first one, this is the one, and connect to it and make it second one. This is the second one, take it and connect to it. Next one is, this is the next signal, take it and connect to it. And our next signal is green 2. And the next signal is yellow 1. So this is here. And let's move all the signals down a little bit, so it will be easy for us while wiring them up at the bottom. So our next signal is yellow 2. Take this up and wire to it. And our next signal is blue 1. This is that one, so take it up. And the next one is blue 2. Take this up. Now I will make all these things look smaller so I can see how those tighten this up. This to little down. So yeah, arrange all these things in neat way so our model looks good. Similarly, how we will maintain indentation in our handwritten C or C++ code or Java, Python. Now, as you see, all the Arduino digital output blocks has pin 9 as default. Let's change all these things from 3, 4, and this will be 5, and this will be 6th, and this will be 7, and this will be 8th. I will leave 9th one at 9th, and the last block will be 10. Now we have attached the digital output blocks. So we are good with this and we are sure that our logic is working fine. In our next video, we will see how we can prepare this model for the code generation and deployment to the hardware. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until our next video, we'll see.